I thank the Fondazione per le Scienze Religiose and Forum Interfaith 20 for this invitation. I thank Professor Alberto Melloni, a sure guide for so many of us, and I greet all of the civil and religious participants here today and all participants. As welcome to Bologna, as the mayor said, welcome from near and from far, overcoming the difficulties of our time. Let me send an affectionate and strong greeting to President Paul and to Slovenia, the current head of the European Union, with whom we're working together to make this historical passage ever more determined to change our continent, the European Union, before the new challenges of the time we're living in. The time for healing, as seen as a harmony between cultures, the importance of interreligious dialogue for the promotion of peace. But referring to a time for healing represents today an ever more global question, as was underscored David Sassoli, President of the European Parliament. A priority, especially in the light of the devastating consequences deriving from the spread of the pandemic of SARS-CoV-19. It gives us strength to think of the Holy Father's message yesterday, the commitment at the center of this forum. We will not kill each other. We will help each other. We will forgive each other. These require not easy conditions because there's no disarmament without courage. There's no help without generosity. There's no forgiveness without truth. The final objective is to add another P at the center of the commitments of the Italian presidents, of which Benedetto della Vedova, Undersecretary, will talk about people, planet, prosperity. These are current themes, but particularly discussed in recent days, as so many have said, in the light of the humanitarian tragedy that we are witnessing in Afghanistan today, where true suffering beyond the military or diplomatic situation of the historical situation of that sad country runs the risk of a moral disarmament of public opinion, which looks at tragedies and no longer reacts. The situation in recent decades has caused us to reanalyze the question of the relationship between religions. We, as Europe, need politics that feed dialogue, research, comparisons between tradition and the present, focusing on universal themes such as the search for peace, the respect for the environment, and the protection of the weakest, with inequalities that are ever stronger and that have fed social rage. The role of women, which is fundamental in building societies in which inclusion is not a slogan. But the media tend to reduce the comparison between religions and deeper reflection as a decorative element, often as a stereotype in the context of the debate on migration, which is a historical phenomenon, and we must face with civility and solidarity the highest expressions of the human soul. In occasions such as this forum gives us a sense of the importance of dialogue, in the whole words of the Pope. And in this sense, Europe, in the broader Mediterranean, is a lab for diversity that must be cultivated apart from differences between religions. The European Union has made its differences, linguistic, cultural, an advantage that has made it a global player, but which must not allow it to close within its own barriers. This tendency to compare must bring together the various nations and cultures that are represented here in Bologna. In 1992, Jacques Delors, president of the European Commission, expressed the need to create an ethical and spiritual dimension for the European entity, beyond economic and questions and juridical ones and negotiations. His idea was called a soul for Europe, and it became a structural conversation among all humanistic organizations. And this has become today Article 17 on the Treaty for the Functioning of the Union, and Articles 10 and 20 for the fundamental rights of the European Union, freedom of religion and respect of diversity. But we know that in today's world, this conquest cannot just be lived within the European borders. It's a driver that must push us beyond moral disarmament to intervene where we're needed, using peace and healing as for a new paradigm. It's a ethical and spiritual sustenance for a new humanism, promoting the respect for all living beings, a responsible exploitation of the environment, and the strengthening of social relations based on solidarity, inclusion, and promotion of people. And this is our hope that this will be discussed in this conference that has just started on the future of the European Union. Now that challenges are climbing to levels never seen before, in which technological and digital revolution is about to change the whole world, even the nature of citizenship of multilateral countries. The success of the G20 here in Italy, with the Italian presidency and with fora such as this one, will certainly come when we are able to discuss in this time and make choices that we've never had to make before. The Pope said, we will not kill each other, we will help each other, we will forgive each other. And this is the time for choices, even the most complicated one. This is the time for Europe to get up and march forward. Thank you.